Hi, my name is Angel Cox, and I live in the state of Virginia. So I will be going over the state codes in regards to my specific state and the disciplinary action that I found from here in Virginia. So the disciplinary action that I found from here was in the city of Monetta, Virginia. And basically, I'll just go over the points first. So the first question that it asks is, what are the most common reasons for a board to discipline a counselor, and what are the personal reaction as you read through the list? I when I was looking over the most common ones, there were several ones I looked over, but the most common theme that I found was inappropriate relationship that the counselors had with their clients, misconduct, HIPAA violation, and falsified billing, which all are huge offenses when it comes to counseling, because as the book that we're reading in our class, Daniel 2020, he basically went over with us what it means to be able to be a counselor, and what it means to be able to be faithful, and what it means to be able to have that environment where you create that safe place for a client to come, but you also have to remain consistent. And because you are that safe place, taking advantage of a client is not allowing them to grow and to be healthy. You are violating the trust and the boundaries that you guys have set, and violating the authority that you have with that client. And so in the book, he mentioned the ability to be faithful is paramount in establishing with your client that you are the safest person in the world of chaos. But veracity is more than something I do for another. It must be who I am with myself, God, and then others. It is my very character. That's Daniel 2020 for the reference. The second point that I have is disciplinary actions are correct for this specific situation, because in this situation that I found with the QMHP, was basically he was a QMHP in the state of Virginia, and he was a director over a foster care facility. He basically aided two females to be able to elope, and he gave them the money, he gave them transportation, and he also took advantage of them sexually. And so because of those things, because of his QMHP license, he violated all rights that he had. He violated all agreements that he made with the state, and he was held responsible. However, that case has not been there has not been a verdict for the case yet. So it's still pending. So once there is a verdict, I will know. But as of right now, there's no verdict. But I was shocked that he would go as far as creating an inappropriate relationship with his clients, and then also aiding and abetting them to be able to elope, was surprising. So the code that I found, the state code that he did violate that I found, was 18 VAC 115 8090 B1. And that code states not willfully or neglectfully breach the confidentiality between a practitioner and a client. And then the ACA code of ethics that he violated was A5A, and that's sexual and or romantic relationships prohibited, sexual and or romantic counselor-client interactions, or relationships with current clients, their romantic partners, or their family members are prohibited. Their prohibition applies to both in-person and electronic interactions or relationships. And so the outcome for that specific disciplinary action is pending. But the last point that I have to make is, what does the ACA Code of Ethics and your state code say about counselor impairment? And it basically says the term impairment to classify any physical, mental, or emotional problems that would impede a counselor or counselor in training from providing professional services. And so I feel like that is a really good point that they make, because of the simple fact that sometimes counselors mentally just are not able, human beings, we may have some issues that we have to get counseling for prior to be able to go into the field and properly counsel people. And so I feel like it's important that the person who is implementing the counseling techniques is in a right state of mind to be able to do so. So situations, as I just explained in the video, of where this guy took advantage of these two girls doesn't happen, where the counselor is standing up in the posture of a counselor and not as a human being putting their own flaws and issues and impeding that on another person. So I agree with the disciplinary actions that will be taken, and I do see the need and the necessity for it.